What is up, Vikings? It is Royal Viking here, bringing you a beginner's guide with some tips here and there for the game Soulmask. Brief introduction to this game. It is a open world survival game where you get tribesmen, you craft, progress, fight bosses, and conquer the whole map pretty much. Now, in this game, you are actually playing the mask itself. The mask has powers that you unlock through its tech tree and so on. I'm gonna assume that you know a little bit about this game watching this video. So mainly this video is going to be based off of building advice, tips, and starting locations, progression, what I think is the best areas for resources and for you to have your bases to easier progress through the game. And also talk about base defense, because there are AI raids in this game. They'll come and they get stronger and stronger, and we've had some difficult ones. So, and I've learned some things on the way through this playthrough. So, stick with us, and hope you enjoy. Comment if you get anything from this video, and please subscribe. Thank you so much. Now, starting off, you're gonna start when you first do a playthrough and everything. You're gonna start somewhere on the right side of this map, usually in the middle here, the beach, or right near this river. So the best start, in my opinion, is first thing you're going to want to do is obviously do the beginner guide. It's on the top left of your screen when you start. It'll say build your first axe, your first base, or whatever, a fire, bonfire, so on. And you're going to want to do that. It'll give you your bearings, obviously, in this game. But we're going to get to where I think the first base should be, because it's very useful for its protection against animals, predators, enemies, and stuff. Is a pretty safe area for a starting base, and that's going to be right over here near this first portal. So right in here, you can see my buddy's base is right here. This is one of our other buddies that we play with, and this is our starting base. This is the base that we first built in this game. Is that we did what we need to do to progress enough to start our first base when you're ready to call your first place a home. And we decided this spot here. We decided this spot because multiple reasons, and we'll go over there and take a look at it. But because one, you're near a portal, and at the beginning of the game, you're going to want easy maneuverability throughout the map. You're going to want to be able to get places easily, quickly, and not have to run everywhere. So if you build your first base and put everything into right on the beach or whatever, then you're going to be running all over and running way across just to get to a portal, and that takes up a lot of time, and it just slows the progression way down. So this spot here is very valuable in that aspect alone, but also you're near a ancient ruin that you can farm here. It's just some dogs. You can kill them, get some XP, but they also have the crystals that you need to upgrade your mask and re-energize your mask. So you can farm that. It's very valuable. But when you build a base here, it's between two mountains, which have a lot of resources like thatch, wood, clay, all kinds of cool stuff. Great for the gear progression and crafting materials. But once you put your bonfire down, you're going to want to put two more bonfires, and that's right here, as you can see, one of ours. And our other one has decayed because we have progressed so much into the game that this base we're going to redo it for different reasons, mainly for like thatch and wood, but we just don't tend to it as often anymore because of our progression. But then the second fireplace or bonfire, you're going to want to put right here, and you're going to want to build a wall between mountain and mountain as well on this side, and obviously put a door in each one so you can get through, but holding on that door and make it where your tribes people cannot go through that door, because on the outside of those doors, well, once you place your bonfires, it's going to make all these predators not spawn back in the area of the bonfire, okay? Well, outside this wall, you're still going to have alligators and stuff spawning out this side of the wall, as well as this side of the wall. So to protect your tribesmen, it helps keep them from wandering off and getting mauled by an alligator, which can slow you down because now you got to get more people. So that's very valuable. When you're starting off and stuff, once you get established at your first base and you get your first alpaca mount or first mount in general, run out here to the beach and go out to the shipwreck. There's a free mask out here. It's a great mask to... it's better than your starting mask when you create your character and stuff. It's a really good mask. You just go down there, bring 50 bandages with you, ride your mount out here, dive down on it. You'll run out of breath, but you can keep healing yourself underwater. Loot all those chests. You'll get a free mask, and it's actually really good for early game. Let's get on with the second location. So this area right here is the second base that we built, and we'll look at all of our locations that we've gotten so far, progressed to so far. Just showing you on the map where we decide to build as we progress because of many different reasons. This spot is awesome because you got a beast lair right here. It has a elite giant elephant, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to kill, but there's actually an easy way of doing it with dual blades, and I can show you that later on. I'll have my buddy do it, and I'll record him, and it's kind of funny. You're pretty much playing Ring Around the Rosie, cutting the elephant's tail, and you're gonna want to fight it with only one person. It'll be quicker. Funny enough, and the reason being is because when more than one person fight it, it goes into berserker mode or something to where it glows bright orange, and you can't really damage it. So when there's more than one person fighting it, it goes into berserker mode like way too much, way too often, to where it's almost impossible to kill. So that's an awesome point. Also, you got this portal here, and it's not so important for the portal. It is convenient because you're still doing some dungeons and stuff and getting more portals in the dungeons, which that's where you gain them. I think one dungeon you get it is right here at the Ancient Ruins dungeon, and there's another one just up this river here. Alright guys, so this is how you take on the elite elephant here. You're just going to stay on his butt and keep circling around, hitting that back leg. And he's not going to go in berserker mode as much because you're soloing him. But if you have two people do it, he'll literally like glitch out. It's weird. I think it's a bug in this game at the moment. So if you just keep doing Ring Around the Rosie with him and hitting that back leg, he'll just keep spinning. He'll do one ability right there that you're going to want to get away from, and then get right back on that back leg and just keep spinning around with the dual blades, spamming that ability. That's the best way we found to take this guy on. Because again, if you have two people fighting him, he'll just glitch out. Like if I shoot him with an arrow right now, he'll start glitching out in berserker mode, and you cannot damage him in berserker mode. It's just crazy. He gets away and gets back at it. Gets away, gets back at it. It's kind of funny to watch, to be honest. And that slam move there, you might be behind him, but that slam move, he'll still hit you with that. So that's how you do it. It's not hard, it's just meticulous at times. So yeah, that's how you take on the elite elephant. Good job, brother. But what's also nice is that it's got a lot of resources as well. So it's not as good for like thatch and wood as this area. It's still really good, but this area is it's jungle. It's just thick, you know. But it's still plenty to sustain what you need. You're also right near the iron ore mine here, and there's also people you can kill for that awareness XP. And then you got a barracks right here again for looting and experience. And you're perfectly in 3 biomes. Like you're like right in the middle of 3 biomes. You got the snow biome, obviously that's more in game and stuff, but the desert is where once you get to this point in progression, you're really going to be tampering with the desert here, you know. Now I will say as a tip, before you build your base, get out a foundation and run the area that you're wanting to build and see where you can and can't build. Because the closer you get to this barracks, it's not going to let you build but so close. As well as to this beast lair. So you have a certain amount of area that you can build your big walls and stuff in your kingdom. So we'll go take a look at that in a second. Now for the third, which is going to be kind of our final base location. It's quite nice. It's a little tight of a spot to build, but the way we have built it, is more vertical rather than horizontal. So let's look at that. Now this is our third and kind of quote unquote final base location in a way. It's more for like in-game type stuff. So you got a lot around you, of course. You got a poison area here. You got some ruins and stuff. A lot of stuff you can farm, barracks and stuff, and then holy ruins. But what's nice about this is that it's right near this little path on the side of the mountain to easily get into the snow biome, and that's where what we're doing a lot in right now. So it's quite convenient, but it's also really nice because when the AI raids you and stuff, you have this whole huge mountain behind you, and you can build a wall on the water's edge here, your big walls and stuff, and have one gate to where when they go to raid you, they have to funnel in pretty much the only path to get to your base. And we'll take a look at this as well. So it's quite nice. All these other fire pits, they're on paths and stuff, but they do not connect to the land. So they have to funnel in pretty much the path to the main base. And for defenses and stuff, you have the bolt towers or whatever, which is your tribesmen. You put them in it, you assign them to it, and it's pretty much arrow turrets and stuff. So it's quite nasty for defense. Now in PvP regards, unless climbing is off in the server, someone could easily climb down on top of your base, because we've reached the limit of arrows just for like PvE. We set it up mainly for like PvE defense rather than PvP defense. So all of our turrets and stuff are mainly right here on the bottom floor of the water and stuff, as you'll see in a second. So getting back to it, let's go ahead and take a look at our first base and the layout. It's messy, but it wasn't originally, but we kind of outgrew it and just started building stuff to work. So let's take a look mainly at why this area is so useful. All right, now getting started here with the first base location, our starter base. You can see that's the river you'd be running from if you spawned on the river side here. So like I said, usually beginning you spawn here around the middle here or the beach. I always love when I spawn here because I run straight over and get at it. But so right here we're on this end of this whole lake here. You can see the ruins down there. Now this wall would be built right here between these two rocks. So it protects from tribes people going over and getting killed by dogs and stuff because they're low level. So that it's quite easy for, especially if there's only one of them, they'll get mugged. That's our little starter base down there. She's ugly right now. Like I said, we outgrown her and stuff. So she's kind of just for use right now for resources. And then down there we have another wall that had to be rebuilt because it decayed as well. But we had the big barricade walls, I think they're called. So it looked a lot nicer. But anyways, you can see it's between two like mountains here. A bunch of resources, as you can obviously see. It's thick, so a bunch of wood, a bunch of thatch. You got clay and everything. So it's quite nice for that reason there. And then also, like I said, you have this portal right here. So the beginning games, you can just run right up here. It's a quick run and port anywhere of any of the ones that you find and the portals you gain. And actually where my buddy is over here, that's a convenient side to be on as well. So really either side is quite nice. I like this side personally just because I've always done it on this side. I've always started on this side. But also because there's not a whole lot of predators. There's, I think, a leopard further up there or something, but the tribesmen, there's so much resources and stuff, they never really make it this far. So they don't really go out with, there are some dogs, but they take them out pretty good. As I'm speaking about predators. And then this side the same, there's actually less predators on this side. So it's very, very convenient. All right, catch you at base location 2. So now we're at base location 2 between the snow biome and the desert. Very useful to be in between like 3 different biomes. But this is the redwoods type area I was talking about, huge trees. And you can also they have tree foundations, which Soulmask, the devs, if they ever hear this or see this video and hear this, you really got to fix the tree foundations. They just don't work. I would probably point them towards Ark Survival Evolved, how they do their tree bases. You have like a huge tree platform you place down, and they could make it where you could place a little bit extra on those platforms or whatever. But the foundations just, we found that just don't work because we had a huge plan for them, but that failed. So here's the second base. It looked amazing, but we kind of outgrew it. So again, it's gotten messy. But I really loved it because it had this very Aztec, which obviously the game's Aztec base, had this Aztec vibe to it, and I'll show you around it a little bit. But anyways, the barrier, you can see I have a outskirt barrier that runs way down here and then connects right back to this wall over here. Now there's a center wall, as you can see here, and that's not in render distance, but it circles around these main trees here, and that's the interior wall. And then you, like I said, you have that outskirt thing. Now, sadly, I kind of rushed this base a little bit, so I didn't place it in the right location. I would say go a little bit more that direction towards that bigger tree between those two trees, because this wall I was able to go out pretty far and stuff, but I couldn't go any closer because of that barracks up there. It wouldn't let me build. Well, same thing for on this side because of that elite elephant. I couldn't build. Well, that side you can build a long distance, so you could make a perfect double circle barriers to between the outside and your base, and work perfectly. So that's what I would have done different on this one. All right, here at the second base, you can see that Aztec-y vibes that just shines from it. It's quite cool. It's got a little bit of a pyramid look to it. The inside's really cool to lay out. And I could build it again. I could make a video on this whole build because it's very easy to build. Not a whole bunch of resources when it comes to building materials. Now the walls and stuff and this extra supplement, I mean, obviously you got to take a little bit to build up to that and stuff, but the shell of the building itself is not that bad at all. Takes a little bit of finagling for this center stairs sections on each side. But see a little bit up close there. Now if we jump down, we have our little platform area here that's got our portal. This is kind of where we park our animals and stuff, so we can just hop on one, go through the portal, go wherever we want on the map. Just quick, easy access. And then we got our death machine over there with the turrets on top. It's pretty insane. Now, going into the front of this at first, it's got, on each side, the center, it's got doors. So it's got 4 doors all the way around at the bottom. Has this outer ring, which is really cool. It's for like, it's messy again, we've outgrown it, but it was so nice and neat at first. But it's got all the crafting area and stuff. Quite useful. Again, doors in the center all the way on each side. And then the center, well actually let's start here. We got these farm plats that fit perfectly. It took a little finagling, but perfectly into these areas, and it's open so the rain does hit it. So you can use it, oh, this is messed up somehow. But works very nice, little farm. Works good for the cooking and stuff. And then the center here, the bonfire was here. One of our team members moved it up top. It looked a little different from what it does now, but it was getting a little jam-packed in here. But it was really cool. This was a hangout area for them, hot tub, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Now I got stairs on each side that go to kind of like a top section above the roofs, which have these little training dummies, which are really cool. They just auto train on them and stuff, and they are standing on the roof. I don't know if they are overworked and they're thinking twice about life or what's going on there, so we'll leave that alone. Don't do it. Don't do it. But then it took a little finagling again to get these stairs to work and stuff, but it just took some trial and error. Looks kind of cool though. But it goes up into here to the center section above where the fireplace used to be in the hangout area. And this is where our little table is, and right now it's a big old hangout area. And then actually it goes down to a second layer that had rooms, and still has rooms, but different layout now. Ooh, big bed. That must be my buddy. He must have just put that down. He might be getting a little freaky deaky later. So quite convenient. Got your own personal rooms on this top part, as well as a kind of more the higher tier things, your mask stuff up here. So quite nice. Pretty cool second base here. That's location number 2, of course. That's our base number 2. Now let's check out base location number 3. Now getting to the base location number 3, this is kind of like my beloved area, my beloved base. I really went all out on this one when it comes to design. I'm very excited to do a finalized move in because we're not moved in totally yet, but the bones are there. I still got to do exterior work, like you can see behind me. That bonfire there is just temporary. I got to fix that up real nice. But getting started, you got the wall here. Sadly, you can't go on that side of the rock because there's a mine right over there. That's another nice thing about this location is you have a mine right here for phosphate. And there's actually right here, I don't know why I don't have it discovered, but there's also an iron ore right here. So easy iron, easy phosphate, very convenient, really nice. And then also there's clay that spawns in here, and you'll need a good bit of clay. So that's a passive farm on the clay, and there was more clay over there, but that's where some animal farms are going to be, and so on and what forth. So the wall is kind of sad. I'm going to have to do like some spikes and stuff and kind of defense up this area here. The AI raids, I don't think they necessarily climb, so it's not really a big deal. Again, this base is not designed for PvP, although it could be with different turret placements and a slight different change of design, as you'll see. Now getting started for the base. Boom! Look at that sexy thing there. Talk about an Aztec kingdom, baby. Look at that. So my theory, which hasn't been tested yet, granted, but I'm pretty good about this stuff. The AI will obviously bust down the door. They'll come in. They're going to gather around this or whatever. And I'm actually going to put a couple turrets around here because one bonfire will only support so many turrets. So I'm hoping that we can put some more out here since the other bonfires don't reach this circumference I'm talking about. So pretty much they're going to be around here going bada bing, bada boom against this. They're going to be shot by other turrets and stuff around here. But then also when they start coming down, we got 4 bad mamma jammas right here at the beginning. And again, these paths for these other bonfires do not connect. So they can't really come down from these sides. But if they do, it'd still work great. And then we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We got 9 turrets on the wall of the base itself. So even if they do come down here, they're going to be getting pelted like crazy. Quite nice. Very excited to get this thing rolling. Pretty cool designs I got going on here. Very excited. Starting the entrance. Opens up to this entered section. Everything's closed off to the exterior wall so nobody can climb through or whatnot. Pretty cool. Got 2 turrets on the inside of here just in case shit hits the shit. They start getting in. We'll still be able to defend it as well as them getting pelted. Now, I would like to put extra turret up here and up there, but again, I have my turret limit for this fire kind of maxed, so that's not going to work. If we open up, you can see a little bit of, look at that. That's a pretty cool view. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty nice. Pretty awesome. Very excited. Now, going into the king's area, pretty much, we're going to have the throne right here, and that'll have some cool designs and stuff there. So throne will be here, cool heads everywhere, you know, monster heads or whatever. And we have this cool little thing I set up for the portal. I'm going to put some little chandelier lights in those crevices there. Pretty cool design. I like it a lot. We're already getting the walls upgraded, so that's nice. It's going to look even nastier. Random stuff because we're still not moved in. And then going up to the second floor, we have a little bit of a balcony loft area here. Pretty cool. Same on the other side. This can be used for whatever. Going into this here, this opens up to the outside main or second deck or whatever, top deck. This is where all our crafting and stuff is going to be. So we'll suit this out where all the crafters, everything business goes on up here. And then it's mirrored, obviously, like I said. They go up here. And this is a interior area, kind of like a sub deck. This will be more crafting area, you know, and also like main storage area. So one thing I learned with the AI in this game is that you can't have too many turns and too many doors and too many different areas they got to go. So you kind of simplify it, meaning like y'all work here, y'all work just around this corner here. Nothing for them to get hung up on or glitched through. Y'all work here and there, and then you have stuff stored here, whatever. So quite convenient. Going into here, this is just extra room. Still got to polish it. This could be used for whatever, obviously. Same thing on the other side, it's mirrored, but looks quite nice. Still got to get some lighting and some designs done on the ceiling to where it flows real good, and some pillars, so not totally finished. Go up into here, goes to another area where this is probably going to be personal room, you know, a personal room over here, and I can expand that. But then you come out here, you have a little bit of a balcony. Pretty cool, good view. If you had a glider, you could probably jump off and make it outside the wall real quick. And I think that's it. Yeah, because the ceiling is vaulted. So as you can see, it's vaulted all the way to the top. So might make a couple little changes here and there, but very nice, very excited. Again, it's PvE designed, not PvP designed, because people could hop right off of the top here and break their way through, do a top-down raid. You know, all you Rust people will understand that very, very well. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and got something out of it, please leave a comment down below. Also, if you want to see a video of me kind of showing you tips and tricks on how to build in this game, how to clip things together, do workarounds, just let me know down in the comments as well. And please subscribe, like, and share if you got something out of it. And till the next video, peace.